So I told you that final negotiations were taking place last week. Everything has been finalized, and all the vendors for the forensic audit will be signing their contracts, which means any day now, the full forensic audit will begin. They're going to count all the ballots, and then they're going to do a full forensic audit. It's what we've been waiting for. This couldn't have happened without you doing what you did, with all the emails and all the phone calls to all the senators and the House reps. This wouldn't have happened without all that. They would have just let this go by because everyone in drones have been contacting the reps. Someone listened and it happened. And so I just encourage you to please pray for everyone's safety right now. That's like utmost importance right now. So we are on our way. And as they learn things, they're going to be telling us about what they've learned. So in the coming weeks, we'll be hearing some information on what they're finding out. Mike Lindell just said in 14 days he's going to start his own platform. It's going to be like a YouTube Twitter combo, and it's going to be called frankspeech.com. And I don't know if President Trump's working with him on that, because I know President Trump said he's coming out with a platform too, and they're friends. So I was just thinking, I wonder if they're working together, if it's going to be the same platform, or if there'll be two different platforms. I just know Mike Lindell is having that come out in like 14 days, so everyone will have free speech and no one will have to worry about getting shut down on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. So that's a good thing. And then things in Michigan are still going forward as far as I know. More subpoenas in different counties, because Atrium County, they found stuff, and now there have been subpoenas in other counties in Michigan, and there's still the New Hampshire thing going on. So I just wonder where this is all going to go once stuff comes out in Arizona. So coming weeks, things are signed. People are signing their contracts now. It's going to start any day. So woohoo! You know, people often think that they're just one person. What can they do? But God can do a lot with a little. And we've seen that over and over again in the story of Gideon. There was this huge army that was like basically oppressing them. And God dwindled the army from like 30,000 down to 300 men. And God defeated the Midian army on their behalf. God fed a multitude of 5,000 plus women and children with 5 loaves and 2 fish. So nothing's impossible for God. He parted the Red Sea for the Israelites when they were up against their slave owners, and there was the water before them and the slave owners behind them, Egypt, and he parted the waters. I mean, nothing's impossible for God. So God took the small and mighty that started the recalls. They were 5 people, and it turned into a lot of volunteers. So if you're wondering what can you do in your state, start recalls with some of your representatives who aren't serving the people. This should be a servant leadership position. You become a governor because you care about your people and you want them to have the best. You become a supervisor or mayor because you want to serve your town and want to give them the best. When you go into the attitude like, I'm going to go into this position because it's going to give me power and money, then you're in it for the wrong reasons and you need to go. So what can you do? You can do recalls. You can do what Arizona did and bombard your legislature, your county board of supervisors, whoever will listen to you. Do all of them. In Arizona, they did Doug Ducey, they did the legislature, and they did the supervisors. And the Senate's the only one that listened. Not because there wasn't people in the House that didn't want to help, but their speaker wouldn't call them into session or didn't do anything to help. Like, he just chose not to. And Senate President Karen Fann said, okay, let's do this. A lot of our constituents want it. I mean, they had so much pressure, and they still, all of them from the governor down, feel the pressure of the people, the normal citizens, because they're being recalled. and normal citizens decide, hey, this matters so much, I'm going to help with the recall. I'm going to go collect the signatures. So it took 5 people to step out in faith, because it just sounds like a huge task. It started out with the supervisors. How am I going to recall 5 supervisors? That sounds like a huge task. And then it just blew up. What do you think, Gavin Newsom, the governor? You didn't think that was going to be a big task? I guarantee you it only started with a few people. So if you're in a state and you're upset about your state, start a recall. Start a group. And so, when Mike Lindell is starting his platform, he's not using the servers like Apple, which took down Parler. In Arizona, they're coming together as business owners to support one another. So it's coming against the cancel culture that if the outside people do not want to do business with them and are trying to shut them down, like a Mike Lindell type thing, that they have another community of business owners and business people and patriots, not just business owners, but also patriots, coming alongside them and supporting them. So there's a platform within the excuse me, so windy where I'm from. Allergies galore. Springtime and then wind. Not a great combination. But what the patriots are doing right now are building their own platforms. We are the working party. We know that. We're the working party. Okay, so we have to support ourselves. We have to support our small business. We have to support our jobs. And we're building our own infrastructure. And Mike Lindell's doing that on social media. So all the business owners who are patriots can have a place to still conduct business. And then locally in Arizona, they have they're building a network and a community to support each other to come against that cancel culture that might want them to lose everything. So it just all snowballed from 5 people and from a whole bunch of patriots just calling and bombarding. It snowballed into networks being built, so that we can still keep going and surviving and having a thriving business and a good country and so on and so forth. So a lot of good came out of 5 people starting to recall, and a lot of good came out of a lot of people making a ton of phone calls, because if that didn't happen, the recall wouldn't happen. Things are going to be quiet for a while. The Senate, as far as I know, isn't going to make any announcements. Now that could change on who their team is, but as the thing keeps going, they're going to be giving information out. And so if I learn anything, I'm going to let you know.